Hey guys, in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, it talks about how when we are weak, it allows God to work in our lives. I'm sure several times you have failed at something or fallen short or have been weak. And that's very normal because we've all been there. But in those places, God's power shines through us. In verses 9 and 10, it says, "The Lord said to me, 'My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me.'" We can do nothing apart from Christ. He is the strength that we have to lean on because there will be times that we fall short. But in this, Paul is saying, I'm actually going to rejoice in the moments that I'm weak. I'm going to rejoice in the times when I'm not good enough, because in that, God can show me His power. God can show me how good He is and how He can work in the things that I fall short of. In this culture, we are oftentimes told we have to succeed or that's the end. You're out. There's no grace there. But God is saying, it's okay. Whenever you mess up, get up with me and allow me to walk with you. And it's such a beautiful invitation to allow God to be our everything and to be our strength that we need. In verse 10, it says, "For when I am weak, then I am strong." And this just points to the relationship that we have with God, that when we allow Him into our hearts, He takes all of our shortcomings and turns them into something beautiful. He makes us strong in Him. So on your mat today, I encourage you to lay down your striving. Let go of trying to be perfect or to be strong enough for you and everyone around you, and rejoice in your weaknesses. Rejoice in the things that sometimes you fall short of, and allow the Father to come and be your strength today. So grab your water and join me on your mat. Alright guys, we're going to get started today in a child's pose. So go ahead and bring the hips back onto the heels and the fingertips stretching forward, resting the chest down onto the thighs. Getting comfortable here, closing the eyes. And we're just going to get started with some deep breaths all together. So go ahead and exhale out through the mouth. And then take a deep inhale through the nose, filling up the body. Open mouth, exhale, release. And let's take that a couple more times. Inhale through the nose. And open mouth, exhale. One last time, deep inhale through the nose, filling up the whole body with air. And open mouth, exhale. Great job. Slowly bring the hands behind the back and interlace the fingers, starting to reach them high. Inhale, stretching open the shoulders and the chest. And then as you exhale, start to drop the hands and lift the hips up, arching through the back and letting the forehead sink back. Getting a slight back bend here, opening up through the front of the body. Inhale and exhale, come back to center. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, and exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to let the right foot come out to a gate pose, so the toes are pointed towards the front, opening up the right hip. Inhale, the arms out to a T. And exhale, drop the right hand down, reach over with the left hand, and opening up the left side of the body. Inhale, reaching. And exhale, come back to center, release the left fingertips down, and now reaching over the body with the right fingertips. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center, and let's switch out the legs. The right knee comes down and the left foot comes out, toes pointed towards the front. Inhale the arms out to a T. And exhale, release the left hand down and reach over the body with the right fingertips. Really opening up through the right side of the body. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center and drop the right fingertips down, reaching all the way over with the left fingers. Inhale, stretching and reaching. And exhale, swing the left hand around and come to a tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders and knees under the hips. Draw the belly button in towards the spine, creating a flat back here. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly lift the hips all the way up into a downward facing dog, with the heels reaching down towards the mat. Maybe they make contact today, or maybe they're just reaching. And then bending one knee at a time, walking out your dog, opening up the hamstrings, warming up the backs of the legs. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, lift the right toes into a three-legged dog. And exhale, step that right foot in between the hands, drop the back knee and toes, and find your low lunge. So here you can either keep the hands down on the mat, maybe rested on a block or on a tall book, or bringing the hands to heart center or lifting the fingertips high. Finding your comfortable low lunge, making sure the shoulders and hips are square towards the front. Inhale, opening up through the hips, and exhale, sinking a little bit lower into your lunge. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center if they weren't already. And we're going to twist to the right side, bringing the left elbow to the right knee. And the gaze is either down at the mat or lifted up towards the sky. Inhale in your lunge. And exhale. Great job. One more deep breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, bring the hands back next to the foot. Release the hips back and take a half split. So the toes are pointed towards the sky and folding over that right leg. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold down, really starting to open up that right hamstring. Great job. One more deep breath. And exhale, bend back into that right knee, come to your lunge, tuck the back toes, and reach all the way up into your high lunge. Bringing the fingertips all the way up, opening up the chest, and then exhale, sinking down into your lunge. Making sure the back heel is lifted away from the mat, and the front toes are pointed towards the front of the mat. Inhale and exhale, release that back heel down and open up for your warrior two. Inhale, elongating through the fingers, opening up the chest. And exhale, sink it down a little bit deeper into your warrior two posture. Great job. Inhale, flip the front palm. And exhale, take it back for peaceful warrior. Opening up the right side of the body. Inhale. And exhale, release the right fingertips down for side angle. Maybe the fingertips come to the mat, or maybe you're resting that right elbow on top of the knee, and the left fingertips are reaching forward. Inhale. And exhale, rise back up into your warrior two. We're going to pull the right fingertips forward slightly and then take them down to the mat for triangle pose. Really opening up the hips here. Inhale, reaching those left fingertips high. And exhale, rise back up into your warrior two. Great job. Inhale, lift the fingertips up, turn the right toes in, and exhale, fold all the way down into your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold down, maybe keeping the hands at the mat or maybe grabbing onto the ankles and pulling the chest in towards the legs. Great job. Inhaling into the hip space and exhale out through the mouth. One more deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, walk the hands to the right foot, turning the toes back to the front, and then rise up into your warrior two pose. Inhale, lengthen through the fingers. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step the right foot back to meet the left, and take a Vinyasa flow, finding your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. Taking a moment here to breathe, maybe walk out the feet. And we're going to take that same motion on the other side. Inhale, the left toes high, taking your three-legged dog. And exhale, step that left foot in between the hands, drop the back knee and toes down, and find your low lunge. So again, maybe the hands are rested on a block, on a book, or maybe they're just on the ground or at heart center, or maybe reaching all the way up towards the sky. Inhale here, and exhale, lunging a little bit deeper. Great job. One last deep breath here. And exhale, hands to heart center, and take a twist over to the left side. Right elbow coming to the knee. Gaze down at the ground or all the way up towards the sky. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, come back to center, send the hips back, lift the left toes, and find your half split over that leg. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold down, opening up the left hamstrings, breathing into that space. Inhale, bending back into that left leg, coming into your lunge, and then rising all the way up into your high lunge by tucking the back toes, keeping the right heel lifted, and coming into your deep lunge. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, sinking a little bit lower. One more deep breath. And exhale, open up into your warrior two, releasing the back heel down. Inhale, flip the left palm. And exhale, send it back for peaceful warrior. Opening up and elongating through the left side of the body. Inhale. And exhale, bring the left fingers all the way down for your side angle. Inhale, lengthening through the right fingertips. And exhale, rise back up for warrior two, coming just slightly forward with the left fingers, and then tilting down for your triangle pose. Opening up through the hips. Inhale, reaching those right fingertips high. And exhale, rise back up into warrior two. And sinking a little bit lower here into your lunge. Great job. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, turn the left toes in, and fold down into your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold down, taking your version of this fold, hands to the ground or hands grabbing onto the ankles. bringing the chest a little bit closer in towards that space between the legs. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Walk the hands to the left foot, turn the toes out, and rise up into your warrior two. Inhale, lengthening and opening up that chest. Exhale, taking that deep lunge. One more inhale here. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame that left foot, step it back to meet the right, and take your Vinyasa flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. Take a moment to breathe here, in through the nose. And exhaling out. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And slowly make your way into a forward fold. Great job. Let the head hang heavy here, really opening up through the backs of the legs, letting the chest come in towards the legs. And then take the left hand and plant it in the center of the mat and reach the right fingertips high for a twisted fold. Slightly lifting the left heel up away from the mat, really opening up through the right leg. Inhale, reaching with those fingertips. And exhale out through the mouth, holding here for one more deep breath. Inhale, twisting. And exhale, release that right hand back to the mat. And we're going to switch to the other side. Right fingertips coming to the center and left fingers reaching all the way up, slightly bringing that right heel away from the mat, opening up through the left leg. Inhale, twisting, opening up the chest towards the left side. Exhale out through the mouth. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Slightly bending through the knees. Inhale, rise up for extended mountain. And exhale, interlace the fingers except for the index fingers and take a tilt over to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale coming over to the left. Inhale back to center and then slightly bending through the knees, we're going to find a chair pose. So the fingertips are reaching towards the sky or maybe coming to heart center, letting the hips sink down. Let the shoulders come down and away from the ears. Knit the ribs together. And then check that you can see your toes past the knees. If not, just shift the hips back slightly. Finding that good posture in your chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sinking it down just a little bit lower. One more deep breath. Great job, guys. Inhale through the nose. And then exhale, fold all the way down, letting the head reach down towards the mat. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, release the hands down. Lift the right toes away from the mat and step it all the way back into your high lunge. Reaching the fingertips up, open up the chest, and sinking those hips low. Great job. Inhale. And as you exhale, bend the elbows and come to goalpost arms, sinking the hips just a little bit lower here. Holding, opening up the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Great job. Inhale, reach the fingertips high and release the back heel down, finding your warrior one posture. So the back foot is just at about a 45-degree angle and bending into that left knee. Release the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, And then press the knuckles out and slowly start to fall forward into your humble warrior posture. Lifting the hands high. Inhale. And exhale, really allowing that chest to come down towards the leg. Great job. One more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, rise back up, open up the arms, and find your warrior two. Great job. Inhale, reaching those fingertips out. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step the left foot back to meet the right, and take a Vinyasa flow. Using the breath here as you move and coming into your downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat, step or hop your way into a forward fold, and allow the head to come low. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold down, slightly bending through the knees. Inhale, rise up into your extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the fingers high. And exhale, bend through the knees and come back into your chair pose, sinking those hips a little bit lower. Releasing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale. Fingers either reaching high or bringing the hands to heart center. Exhale out through the mouth, holding it for one more breath. Great job. Inhale. And exhale, fold it all the way down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, plant the hands, slightly lift the left toes, and step it all the way back into your high lunge on the opposite side. Reaching those fingertips high. Inhale. And exhale, bending the elbows, coming to your goalpost arms, sinking a little bit lower here. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, great job. Reach the fingertips high and release that back heel down, coming into your warrior one on the other side. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, and come all the way down into your humble warrior. Great job. Chest coming down towards the thigh. Inhale, pressing through the knuckles. Exhale, holding this posture. Great job engaging those legs. Inhale, rise back up and come into your warrior two. Sinking a little bit lower on your exhale. Great job. Inhale, extending through those fingers. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step it back to meet the other foot, and find your Vinyasa flow. Great job, guys. Awesome movement. Coming into your downward facing dog. And then we're just going to step it forward and come to seated on the mat. Bringing the soles of the feet together, find a butterfly posture. So just grabbing onto the ankles and letting the knees come out to the sides. If this is too much on the hips, you can just cross the ankles and come to a simple seated. But if you'd like to join me for butterfly, we're going to start to fold over and get a deep hip stretch here. Focusing in on the breath, and exhale, releasing any tightness or tension that might be found in the hip space. One more deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. Bring the knees together, give them a hug here, and then slowly start to let the back come all the way down onto the mat. And draw the knees into the chest, giving them a slight hug, maybe rocking from side to side if that feels good, massaging out the back. Inhale and exhale, press the soles of the feet towards the sky, coming into your waterfall pose. Maybe the arms are out to a T, or maybe placing one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest, feeling the rise and fall of the belly with every inhale and exhale. Reversing the blood flow, cleansing out the body through this posture. Inhale through the nose, and exhale, pull the knees back into the chest, and then slowly release the toes long down the mat, the hands coming down by the sides, and finding our final resting posture in Shavasana or corpse pose. Closing the eyes and coming back into that deep breath. As we finish our class today, I'm going to leave you with 3 ending questions for you to pray on and think on, and maybe take some time to journal later. In what ways do you strive to be strong for yourself and those around you? Do you have weaknesses in your life that you would rather hide than allow others to see? How can you allow God to be your strength today? God, you see us and you know us and you love us. You know our every weakness. You see the things that we want to hide. But Lord, you teach us to be glad in those things, that in our struggles, your beauty shines through our lives. Let our testimonies show your goodness, Lord. It's all about you. It's never been about us. Let our lives proclaim who you are. Come be our strength today. God, we need you. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much for being on your mat today with me, for moving and breathing and taking some time to be still, to rest, and to just dive into the Word today. I look forward to seeing you next time.